It's time for a classic Iron Man and Captain America team-up. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take cherry paperbacks and single issues and I break them down to the digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Welcome to Madripoor, where Tony Stark is currently trying to convince a bunch of people who want to kill each other that they should purchase his self-replicating bees to save their respected nations, not start more battles. You see, Tony Stark loves coming to weapon shows where he gets to see all of the new toys, and while there he wants to convince the villains that they should stop, and he can also find new targets for the Avengers. But this particular time, he's not here for himself, he's here for a friend, Steve Rogers, also known as Captain America. Steve got word that one of his targets was here, so he enlisted the aid of Tony Stark to find out if it's true. Right now, Steve is walking around in a camo disguise which is hiding his face. But while looking for one target, Steve recognizes another person, Kashmir, and she's walking into the main room for another display. Steve feels like something is a bit off with her, so he follows her into the room, and that's when he sees a crazy doctor declaring that he has the Harvester Protocol. Tony hears him announce it and tells Steve that this isn't good. The Harvester Protocol is a big problem. But as they begin to activate the Harvester Protocol, the glass ceiling breaks, and in jumps Batroc the Leaper with Machete, Zoran, and Rapido. They begin opening fire on various weapons dealers, telling everyone that they are here for the Harvester Protocol. Steve jumps out of the way, pushing down one of the people that was standing next to him, and as the Harvester Protocol begins to go off, Steve's disguise begins to fade away. Batroc looks at him. Steve Rogers, Captain America, what a beautiful day at Madripoor. He opens fire on Steve, but luckily Steve has a hard light shield to protect him from the bullets. He then cracks Rapido over the face with it. Works almost as good as the real thing. Tony activates his suit. At this time in the timeline, Tony's suit is the Extremis suit, which hides in his bone structure, and he tells Steve that he's on his way. But Steve tells him, take your time, I have this. Iron Man comes crashing through the wall, telling Steve that they've got to get the Harvester virus. So Steve tells Iron Man to stop Batroc, while he goes for it. Iron Man turns to Batroc. The jumping guy seems like overkill, but consider him stopped. Batroc leaps onto the stage, telling Kashmir that he's here for the device, but he is corrected when she tells him, who do you think is paying you? Your mission parameters have changed. It is to get me out of here safely now. Iron Man flies over to him, but Batroc kicks him in the head, and Kashmir fully turns on the Harvester device. A surge of electricity goes throughout the entire facility, shocking everything. Everything that is powered technologically gets infected, from the bees to Iron Man's suit to Steve's hard light shield. Tony is hit the hardest as his entire suit begins to short out while it's on his body. He has to shut it down, turning it into a liquid suit that is pouring off of his body, and Machete gets ready to take Tony's head. While Rapido's robotic arm begins to go haywire. With her point proven, Kashmir turns off the Harvester and tells Batroc to wrap it up. Batroc turns to Rapido, telling him not to panic about his arm. They'll replace it with what they're getting paid on this job, and they all make for their escape as the place begins to crumble around them. Once everything begins to calm down, Tony explains that the Harvester virus has the ability to spread fast through all technology, compromising everything completely, making all technology useless, and then it takes the specs of what it turned off and it sends it to a central location for replication. In a matter of hours, they can mass produce all kinds of technology. Since it infected Tony's armor, they need to get this figured out in a hurry because they're about to have a lot of Tony Stark's Iron Man armors flying around. And to make matters worse, he now has to purge it out of his system, making him just Tony Stark. Currently, the armor and the virus are both in his bones being purged, and it makes him feel like crap. Steve leaves Tony there because without his armor, he considers Tony useless, and he begins his hunt for the Harvester virus. His hunt eventually leads him to an old apartment building where he runs into Batroc. Batroc begins bouncing all over the place, but Steve has his real shield this time, and nothing beats the classics. Just as he has Batroc defeated, Machete and Zoran run in and continue the fight. Steve finds himself a little bit overwhelmed until something comes crashing through the wall, and there stands Iron Man? Well, it's Tony in whatever technology he could salvage from the destroyed building to make a new armor. He uses a few tricks to drop the C-list thugs, and then using limited rocket boots, he grabs Steve and they get the heck out of there. Tony explains that he built this temp suit. Everything has about one use out of it, and then it's gonna fall off. But it should get them where they need to go. They end up following more of Steve's leads until they end up at the harbor. Once they arrive, Tony asks Steve who he thinks is behind all of this, and Steve tells him, AIM. Definitely AIM. Because he's looking at MODOK, some AIM scientists, and Kashmir. Tony tells Cap they only need 5 minutes. What happens in 5 minutes? I save the day, of course. 5 minutes, huh? I can do 5 minutes with my eyes closed. And then Cap throws his shield out there. Everyone begins to battle, but sadly the AIM scientists and the C-list thugs don't seem to realize that they're fighting two Avengers, as it doesn't take much for Cap and Iron Man to hold the line. That's when the scientists send out some electrical spiders to mess with them, and Iron Man shocks them with the last of his tech, while Captain America is throwing the spiders around and slamming the villains with his shield. Rapido opens fire on Cap, but his shield blocks everything, and then he throws it at Rapido, dropping him. But that's when Zoran jumps on the back of Captain America, so Iron Iron Man hits Saran with webbing. Yep, webbing, a trick that he learned from Spider-Man. Then Iron Man takes one of their guns and using his tech, he disassembles it and throws the pieces at the AIM scientists. MODOK starts using his lasers, going crazy, hitting everyone, not caring who's on his team. And Captain America responds by throwing his shield at MODOK. Realizing that this isn't going to end well, Kashmir makes a break for it, and Batroc tries to stop Captain America from chasing her. As Batroc jumps on Cap's shoulders, he declares that this is exciting, arch enemies fighting to the bitter end. And Captain America knocks Batroc off of him, hitting him with his shield. As far as enemies goes, Batroc, you don't even rank in my top 10. And then it happens. 5 minutes pass. The whole time, Tony has been purging the virus from his system, and now that it's gone, it's time for him to bring the big guns out as he pulls his suit out of his bones again. Iron Man jumps into the air, grabbing MODOK and throwing him down. Captain America runs into the room with Kashmir and tells her to stop. She can't activate the virus. But using a piece of Iron Man tech that she has recreated, she blasts at Captain America and he has to dive for cover. It doesn't matter though, because she's already turned it on, sending out the Harvester virus on a global scale. Everything around them begins to short out, from microwaves to cars to street lamps to cell phones. Even MODOK begins to lose control, blasting his lasers even more uncontrollably. Cap doesn't know what to do, but Tony already has a plan. You see, the virus was purged out of his system, curing it, and he now has a series of bees that he can send out around the world, neutralizing the virus all over. Since the bee drones self-replicate, the virus should be gone in a few hours, turning it into nothing but bug food. Cap walks over and tells Iron Man that took a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Oh, you know, the playboy in me likes to be fashionably late, and it looks like you got your girl while I was busy saving the day. Well, yeah, but she isn't saying much right now. Don't worry, we'll fix that. And ultimately, our heroes won working together. It's just a fun, simple story. These do exist, you know. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian and Instagram at Comicstorian. And if you want more of these like solo stories that don't really wrap into any giant overarching plots, then let me know by giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you guys next time right here.